Hello and welcome back to the School of Heat YouTube channel, and this is going to be the Let's Preview for Liverpool versus Manchester City, 12:30 on Saturday. It's going to be the one that kicks the Premier League back into life after the international break. We can all wake up now and start to enjoy football again. If it's a little bit dark in here, my bulb went, and I don't have any others, so yeah. We're just going to have to get past that as best as we can. But hopefully you can still see me. And we'll hopefully have some images on the screen for you as well, just to look at, just to make it look nice. Anyway, let's get into the preview. Now, I'm looking forward to this game for a couple of reasons. Normally, whenever we play Manchester City, we do sometimes have a good chance of winning the game. We just seem to be able to play a lot better against the top teams. And I think with our front three and our midfield as well, I just think that we're going to be able to do the business. Now, you can probably tell by that, I'm already going to be predicting a Liverpool win. Not that it's going to be easy, because Manchester City have strengthened. Now, defensively they have strengthened. They should have, I think they're going to have Kyle Walker back at right back. I think he's much more of an attacking outlet, to be honest with you, but that's just my opinion. They're still going to have either, I think it's going to be Mendy and company, I think. I do believe that's who it will be. Left back, I think, will it be Mendy? Pretty sure it could be Mendy. I'm not entirely sure. They have a lot of players in defence, and they spent most of their budget in defence. So I imagine that'll be where you start to see people. Maybe even Danilo, but I'm not entirely sure. I think they'll obviously have Ederson in goal as well, who hasn't looked too bad. But I think the defence in front of him just is a little bit scattered sometimes. It's not the... I don't know. It doesn't seem like the most secure defence. And obviously I can speak of not having a secure defence, being a Liverpool fan, and we don't have a secure defence. We're like, if you're in the countryside and you see a countryside gate and it's flapping a little bit, it sometimes closes, but more often than not, it's going to give you a little bit of an opening. That's kind of Liverpool's defence. We're a flapping countryside gate. So we're going to come on to the midfield, and the midfield of Manchester City anyway, and the midfield up, from the midfield up, it's world class. When you've got the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, and then you've got Silva. So it's just that haircut, man. It's like he went like on. I don't know what happened before the start of the season. It's like he watched like a Stone Cold Steve Austin documentary and just thought, I can rock that. And it's like, not really, mate. But anyway, it's not about haircuts. It's about skillful players. And David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne are hellishly skillful players, and we're going to have to watch out for those guys. Their passing and the way that they can play and move the ball and get people interlinked with them is dangerous, and it's always going to be dangerous. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. They'll obviously have the likes of, well, they've got choices. They haven't got a choice of Sterling. I was literally going to say Sterling. Sterling is obviously banned. I think he's still banned. He's going to miss the Liverpool game, so he's not going to be able to play. Now, normally, people would be like, oh, get in, no Sterling. But for Liverpool fans, we're kind of like, ah, because whenever he's played against us, he's not really done very well. Not that I can remember anyway. Since he left us in the style that he did, bell end, he doesn't really come back and perform against us, which I'm quite, I'm happy about that. But then it obviously means, who else are they going to be playing with? And they've got different players that they can choose. Bernardo Silva is obviously an option as well. Leroy Sane is a very dangerous player. He's like a highly evolved version of Sterling. Sterling does look good, I've got to say. Sometimes he does look good. It's just always his finishing and positioning and decision making that lets him down. And then up front, I imagine it'll be Aguero. I can only imagine it'll be Aguero. I'm not entirely sure who else it could be. So I'm going to go with Aguero, maybe Jesus, but I don't know. They could pair them up, and that'd be dangerous as hell. Please don't do that. Don't do that. I don't like most of our defence as it is, but please don't do that. We don't need them showing up that much. Now I'm going to move on to the Liverpool team, and the Liverpool team, I think, coming back after the transfer window and the international break and everything like that, we know that Coutinho is now back in the team. He's apparently going to refuse to play Champions League, according to some, to some outlets and stuff like that. But hey, it's only a rumour, and nothing has been confirmed yet, and we won't really have it confirmed until we play the Champions League. And if he does refuse to play, what a bell end. But if he does decide to play, you're not a bell end. So that's all right, not a problem. Could he come back into this game? He could come back into this game, absolutely. The Brazil boss is saying that he's ready to do 90 minutes, and he can do 90 minutes, and he'll do it very well. However, the way we played against Arsenal and how solidly we've looked, I think, bloody hell, we've got 2 clean sheets in a row in the Premier League. And we looked electric against Hoffenheim as well. We didn't keep clean sheets in there, no way. But still, it's positive signs. We kept clean sheets and we looked very good going forward. Maybe not in the Crystal Palace game, but we kept it solid and Mane got the goods at the end and we won it 1-0. Looked very good against Arsenal. And this is what I mean about playing against the top teams in the league, because I don't think Man City will have it in them to sit back off us like teams lower down the league do and try and counter us. I might be completely wrong about that. They may completely do that, and that's, probably one of the smartest things that anybody could do is sit back off us, even if you've got the most talented attacking players of all time. We probably have some of the fastest players in the league right now in Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah, who, by the way, both on international break, have scored for their respective nations and look very good doing it. So they're still in form, they're still playing good, and they don't have any injuries, which is very good. It's nice to come back after the international break and there's no injury concerns at the moment. Now, this is obviously Wednesday, so there's still time, but please don't give us any more injury concerns. Please, Coutinho, I'm watching you. Anyway, I think that we could start pretty much quite strong. And I'm going to tell you what I think Klopp's going to line up with, not with what I want to line up with. Mignolet in goal. Most likely will come into, he said in a press conference, I think after the Arsenal game, that he wanted to rest him. He wanted to rest Mignolet because it was a lot of games in succession. So he was going to start at Man City, barring any injuries, and there's been no injury concerns from Mignolet as I am aware of. Left back, I want to see Robertson. I imagine he'll go with Moreno because he'll probably go for pure pace, but in an intelligent man's world, just in an intelligent world, never mind a man's world, in an intelligent world, I would go for Andrew Robertson, but I can imagine it being Moreno. Right into the centre backs, you're probably going to see Lovren and Matip. I would still prefer to see Klavan because I don't like Lovren. Sorry, Lovren, I don't know you personally, and you don't know me. Hiya, if you do ever see this, but no, I don't want to see you in it. You are noticeably the weak link. Now, people say, he had a great performance against Arsenal. And said, Arsenal didn't have a good performance against us. Let's put it right. They didn't challenge us and they didn't challenge him. So we were kind of lucky in that way that if they ever click into gear later on this season, we weren't exposed to that. And neither was he. He's got Matip next to him, who I always agree is always going to be in the team. I'm still gutted that we sold Mamadou Sakho, though. Absolutely gutted, and I think a lot of people are, because he would have been such a good option. He could have been the first team starter if he was just allowed back in the team, like Coutinho will be allowed in. But anyway, who am I to judge? So Matip will definitely be in there. And then I think you're going to see Trent Alexander-Arnold definitely at right back, just because Nathaniel Klein is going to be out until 2018. So as long as we don't get any injuries between Trent Alexander-Arnold and Joe Gomez, we're fine. It's nothing to worry about. And if so, Milner. Oh, don't even. Oh, God. We've got enough depth at right back. That's absolutely fine. But God, sod's law, Liverpool will end up with some injuries that mean we're going to have Milner at right back. Who knows? Hopefully not. That's going to be my back five, essentially, with goalkeeper included. Midfield. Now, midfield, it depends. I don't think you're not going to see Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain starting against Man City. No way. You'll see him on the bench, absolutely. But I think the way that he'll set the team up will be pretty much the same as he did at Arsenal. It'll be Henderson, Wijnaldum and Emre Can. No comments about that, to be honest. Happy with it. If he does set it up like that, fantastic. And then your front three speaks for itself. Mane, Firmino and Salah. It's a winning combination at the moment. It is absolutely a winning combination. They're all playing very well at the moment. I've got no issues. They've all gone away on international duty and they seem to be playing very well. So maybe you might see even a couple of youngsters in there. Ben Woodburn had an absolute whale of a time with Wales. That was not meant to be a little bit puntastic, but it ended up being so. Ben Woodburn, I think he scored and he won a game, basically, for one of them. And then he came off the bench and assisted and helped them win the next game. I mean, it's he's still 17 years old. He's the second youngest goal scorer of all time for Wales. The youngest goal scorer of all time for Liverpool. The future's bright. big game to bring him into if he was going to be on the bench or something like that. But if you're doing quite comfortable, like if it's maybe a 2-0 or a 3-1, something like that, yeah, totally bring him on and see what he can bring to the party. Absolutely, why not? And if there are concerns about maybe bringing Coutinho into the team, Matt, I don't know. He might not even make the squad. I haven't mentioned Coutinho in the first 11 because I don't think he'll be in it. I think Coutinho will be on the bench. Then you look at what I've put on in the starting 11, and then you look at what the bench possibilities are. Daniel Sturridge, Philippe Coutinho. You've got you'll have Milner on there, experience for damn sure. You still have Solanke on there. It starts to make us look like we have a strong bench, and we will have a strong bench as well. It looks pretty good. You'd obviously have Oxlade-Chamberlain on the bench as well. I mean, Clavan as well on the bench. And most likely another left back, maybe, I don't know. Andrew Robertson I would expect to be on the bench as well, and then Karius as a goalkeeper. It looks pretty strong, so if things are not going well, we've got quality to come on in Daniel Sturridge and Coutinho, who are all those people I've just mentioned. So it looks like we do have a lot more options than we thought. We look like we're in a bit of a stronger position than we were maybe even last year when we were still doing well, but we weren't in as many competitions like the Champions League and such like that as well. The one thing that I do have to mention about Manchester City is that they haven't necessarily clicked just as of yet. And I don't know if they've had any injuries over the international break themselves, but they look like they're waiting to step it up a gear, and they haven't found that gear yet. They're just missing it. They will find it, no doubt, throughout this season. You don't have a team with that much quality, and with a manager like Pep Guardiola, you don't have a team like that doesn't eventually click into gear. And it will click into gear. I just think it maybe Liverpool's going to be a bit too soon. It's after the international break. And don't get me wrong, Liverpool sometimes do struggle after the international break. Sometimes that's where we get our draws or some of our losses. And if we're just going on paper, this is a very, very even match. It really is. It's more even than it probably looks. Like, people might be saying, they've got Aguero, Kevin De Bruyne and all this lot and that. I said, but you can never discount the fact that when we've got, Firmino's playing very well. You've got Sadio Mane is an awesome player and probably our best player right now, closely followed by Mohamed Salah, who got, I think, our player of the month, Liverpool's player of the month for the month of August, and rightly so. He's been absolutely brilliant. He's hit the ground running in a way that I didn't think he would, or that I never predict that players will. He's hit the ground running, and it's been great to see. You can't discount that. The only thing that you're going to look at here is this could be a game of whose defence is going to hold up better. I think our defence has looked slightly better than Man City's has, but Man City do have a very good leader in Vincent Kompany, and if he can have a good game, then it's going to be difficult to break down. They're going to be wanting to get at Lovren, and if we start Moreno, they're going to be going down that left-hand side for us. That's where they'll probably focus most of their attacks. So that's why I'm saying, if we start Andrew Robertson, I think that's where we'll start to look a little bit more solid. Lovren will have, his mistakes will be covered up by another defensive-minded defender, left back, and Matip there as well. Instead of Matip having to try and cover for himself, Lovren and Moreno makes it difficult for the guy, but he does very well. I don't think he's kind of an unsung hero for me. He doesn't get mentioned a great deal, but Matip is beautiful for us. There's a few people that say Matip isn't a great defender for us. Like, even Liverpool fans say that, and I'm like, I think it's really understated what he does and how he actually clears up after Lovren and even Moreno when he gets stuck halfway up the pitch. It's ridiculous to see sometimes, but let's get into the prediction. Obviously, I think it's going to be a scoring game, and I think it's going to be quite tight. I think this is either going to be a 2-1, 3-2 sort of game. I just think that we're going to score goals, we will concede a goal as well, but if we keep a clean sheet, man, I'm happy with that. And I'm not saying that we can't be beaten. It depends how we come back after this international break. Are some of the players going to be a bit lethargic, or are they going to come back on fire, which I'm kind of expecting, because a lot of the players, like our forward players, have been doing very well for their respective nations. I expect them to come back and just hit the ground running and set fire to the pitch. That's all, not literally, don't do it literally, I'm just, figuratively, don't take my words as gospel. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments if you're a Liverpool fan or a Manchester City fan. Let me know what you think. If you're a Manchester City fan, what are you fearing most from Liverpool, but what are you also looking forward to the most? And the same from Liverpool fans, what are you fearing about Man City? What are you looking forward to the most? If you've enjoyed it, please drop a like on this video, subscribe and share if you are new around here. Thank you ever so much for watching, as always, and I'll catch you later.